And it's hallowed indeed as we say welcome to Calypso Showcase. Our special guest tonight will be Austin Lyons, known in the Calypso world as Super Blue, a man who in just a short career of 13 years has won 5 road matches already, only bettered by Kitchener and Sparrow, and already has made it to the big yard on 6 occasions. Super Blue, welcome to Calypso Showcase.
Thank you, Daniel.
Well, first thing, I know that you have a fetish with blue, but the original name Blue Boy, anything special about it?
Well, maybe it have to be special because it was given to me.
It was given to you?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you just woke up one morning and decided?
No, this story, when I told this story maybe 1,000 times over. As a fella, I came into Port Spain at the age of 16. And there's a guy named Pigeon was working on a boat. You know, I used to sail, and the very first night I got that job. I got that job at night. I was 8 to 9 o'clock at night, and the guy saw me walking up to the boat and he said, "Wee, that fella black till he Blue Boy. That Blue Boy." Oh, honest to God, and this is how the name Blue Boy. And then they start acting on the boat. Everybody just start, "Blue Boy, bring the hammer. Blue Boy, do this." I used to get upset, you know. I said, Blue Boy, Blue Boy. My name is Austin." But then after a while, you know, everybody on the boat had a nickname in any case. And mine was a little nicer because then somewhere along the line, well, after a little while, it becomes nice because the girls and them started to call me Blue instead of saying Blue Boy.
Well, you had a fantastic show on Friday last. I hear you're going up north now. What are you going to be doing there?
Well, the preparation, as I said, this show was to make a statement. And I feel honored to know that everything came out nice. And with the support I got from the public, which I have to thank them for.
Well, we're going to show the public now your life in Calypso. And when we come back, they'll get a chance to chat with you, to ask you a question or two. But for now, let's look at the life of Super Blue. The National Stadium is a very appropriate setting for our special guest this week, Super Blue. You also knew him as Blue Boy in the old days. Well, this place is the place that changed his name from Blue Boy to Super Blue when he performed the immortal Road to Italy. And so we're back here to talk about his life and his Calypso works. Welcome, Super Blue.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel.
Well, we're going to start as far back as we can go. Your early days in Egypt village. Tell us about your youth and your childhood.
Well, I had a normal youth day like any other, you know. It wasn't that enough, no. That when I say like big deal to a lot of people because I was just there, existing in society, you know, me and my family.
What sort of school? What school did you go to?
I went to a primary school. I had primary school education. As I come in the Calypso, I had to read books, learn, and I learned from the Calypsonians, the things they say, you know. And that's where I got my knowledge from.
How early did you interface with Calypso itself?
Well, I sing in Calypso from a little boy, you know, playing pan from when I was 9 years, dealing with Calypso. But professionally, started in 1980.
And before we talk about 1980, tell us a little bit about your pan involvement. What steel band did you play with in the early days?
Oh, well, I had my own steel band. I used to go around to the different bands in Point Fountain, like Euphonics, Harmonites from Egypt, Sun Valley, Tornadoes, you know, and collect pan, Silver Stars from Mora. I used to go and collect a pan here, collect a pan there, collect a pan there. Anywhere I could get a pan, me and my boys would go and collect. Carry home, sandpaper, clean up. I would even take a hammer and tune too. And as time goes on, what I learned from that experience, anytime you mess with things too long, you learn more about it. You keep messing with it, the pan. Eventually, I started playing for Dunlop Tornadoes, going Panama and San Fernando, coming to Port Spain. And I was being offered opportunity just to arrange a little tune in between for Starland. And I had my own band, which was Apple Stars.
Now, my first exposure to Super Blue was as Blue Boy towards the end of 1980. In fact, it was Olia's night 1980. I heard this tune on the television, Soca Baptist. Tell us about late 79.
My wife was going out.
Correct, is right.
Yes,
You know.
Well, Soca Baptist is the next story because a fellow named Justice Santa Claus. He's from, right now he's playing with Atlantic. He's a guitarist in Atlantic. That is the guitarist I went to in Point Fountain to put on Soca Baptist. So we came in town. The first place I went was
Sem Studio.
That's the studio. Sem Studio. And things didn't work out. And after I've been searching all over town for a producer, heading back to South, I just said, let me check Romy.
Romy?
Yeah, Mr. Romy Abraham. I have to thank him a lot, because he's the first executive producer I ever had. Mm-hmm. And it is nice of him that he knew in his heart that, I always would think good about him.
What gave you the idea for this tune, Soca Baptist?
Well, I was a seaman. Sailing, I was in Santo Domingo. We went to Santo Domingo, Dominica Republic. I was traveling. And you're supposed to get a shore pass to go ashore as a seaman on any boat. Mm-hmm. And we took the yellow fever vaccine in Trinidad, but I did not have the certificate to prove that I took the vaccine. Mm-hmm. So when we reached port, they're telling me I can't go ashore. Alvin, I sneak ashore. They hold me, and they put me in a cell for 6 days. And it's inside there I started making Soca Baptist. Now, maybe like Jesus just work like this, confine you when you want to communicate. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And because the spiritualness of the song, at that time of my life, I didn't see much. I used to see a lot of it, but I didn't feel much of it.
Now, seeing you sing that at the Masters Den on opening night was really, I don't believe you've ever repeated that performance. Can you relive that night for us?
That was a time, man. Those were sweet days, Oh boys, Soca Baptist days. What you would give to have those days back. But then, there's just good memories, and I feel proud to know that Trinidad and Tobago has given me a place, as well as a platform to say I could represent them in culture, here and abroad. And I'd always do my little best. I'm not perfect, I entitled little mistakes, but at the same time, thank you, Jesus.
Now, Soca Baptist went on to win the road match, and I think a lot had to do with the controversy surrounding that tune. Tell us, how as a young, new Calypsonian, that controversy affected you?
Well, at the time too, the innocence about everything is what assisted. Because when the late Dr. Ethel Williams said, let good sense prevail, what he did was he put more life into the thing. Because he created more news for me, which was beautiful. From the time what he said, he couldn't give you a more perfect line.
Let
good sense prevail. But being in fear maybe of the man, them just decide, listen, hey, that mean don't play it, or that mean play it. They didn't know. There wasn't confusion. So they just decide, hey, it's banned. So, but it was nice. The late Dr. Ethel Williams was responsible for waking it up. Waking it up.
Listen to our prayer meeting, Baptist people preaching, with a leader in front. So I tell my partner, why come let me get closer? Because I tell myself I'm hearing though it was something to be spiritual, to me it was more like background and oh Lord, yeah. Man, they dancing, stop jumping out of time. If you see Baptist woman whine, oh Lord singing, oh, like so, digging,
The power of that tune overshadowed another good tune you had that year, which I think picked up. No, what about Soca in the Shaolin Temple?
Soca in the Shaolin Temple. Well, Soca in the Shaolin Temple, I usually, what I used to do is go to Globe Cinema on middle spare times and go to the cinemas and thing and see Golden Fox in this outfit posing.
I just wonder what the hell going on, oh Lord, when I see how them Chinese getting on. They send for me quite up in China, because they have the Soca leader. But like they out to create trouble, they want me sing in Shaolin temple. Now inside the monastery, it's only pure Chinese. When they lay eyes on me, it's to see all them Chinese jumping and shouting who and ha, balling so can the Shaolin temple is shouting who and ha, balling so can the Shaolin temple. Oh Lord, I was amazed. I start to gaze in on them and such with who and ha, balling so can the Shaolin temple is shouting who and ha, balling so can the Shaolin temple. Oh Lord, hey, 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 hey.
And to me, he looks sweet. And I say, I want to wear an outfit like that. But what could I do to wear a Chinese outfit? Make a song. And eventually that's how it comes. But it's a beautiful song.
And that turned out to be one of the cornerstone tunes on your album for 1981. I still think one of your best albums.
That one?
1981.
So, but I'm the Superman.
Well, we'll talk about that eventually, but let's talk about some of the tunes on that album. Ethel, which turned out to be the road march.
Ethel, well, you know, I stay liking to be creative. Ethel came from a comic strip I was reading. Mm-hmm. You know, the Archie and Jughead?
Right. And
the character Ethel? Oh. So that is where I got the idea from Ethel. With she and Archie, when I reading all these things that happened. I had Jughead in the song, but I decided, well, it was to highlight Ethel.
Promise me, shake, you go shake for me, shake. People watching me, so I'm begging.
Well, I remember your performance on the final night, complete with someone giving Ethel an injection on the night to get her moving. You could recall everything that led up to that night?
Mr. Peter Blood. Everybody know him. The boiled blood?
Yes.
That blood I talking about. I don't know where you get the coat. Supposed to be good. I don't know if it's in General Hospital, he went across the street and get his coat. He's not looking like a doctor.
Right.
But when I go look at the thing, I said, Peter, I hope that is not a real deal. To choke the girl, but it was fun.
I've been watching.
I know it must have been a disappointment not to have also made it to the finals in the first year of Calypso. So 1981 must have been a particularly pleasing year for you that you were able to make it all the way to the finals. The other tune, the Unknown Band, Sweet Melody. Tell us about the Unknown Band.
Very much so, because 81 was special because it was my first time into the March Gras. And I mean, that's marked in my heart as a big moment. And especially that year was very special, you know. Dunlop Tornadoes, now I made the Unknown Band for Dunlop Tornadoes because they played Soca Baptist in San Fernando. And a lot of us got the idea that they were disqualified because they played a band tune. The tune was being banned. This is what. And Cotelli All Stars.
They went all the way to win the Panorama that year with Unknown Band, a fantastic arrangement.
Because the time they came and told me, Blues would like you to sing Unknown Band in the tent, because I was not doing anything in the tent. Because we are going Panorama with it. I said, what band is that? They said, Cotelli All Stars. So I sent to Point Fountain to tell them fellas, get Unknown Band and put it down. But I don't know what really happened. Next thing I know, I'm passing by Cotelli and hearing the Unknown Band. Sweet, sweet
Things that impressed me about that 1981 album is when you go deep into the album, you had two other nice little tunes, Dirty Music and Music of the World.
Well, Music of the World has gone through so many changes. Music of the World has gone through so many stages. Music of the World has came way back from ages. Music of the World, modern time causes these changes. It's lovely, full of charm and so sweet.
Discretion. Now understand, I need your opinion on songs which we need guardians man. Explain man that I could understand. But check out the era we in, the kind of music playing. Would it wrong to ban me last year? Should they take my music off the air? If my song was being studied properly, oh Lord, could my country then take controversy? Because music of the world has gone through so many stages. Music of the world has gone through so many changes. Music of the world has came way back from ages. Music of the world, modern time, all these changes. It's lovely, full of charm, and so sweet. So sweet, so sweet.
Now, what made you write Dirty Music? Because there was something special about this, what you consider to be dirty music.
It's the same thing. Let good sense prevail. Because after banning Soca Baptist, like there's a lot of changes in music, especially culture. Every so often must breed. You know what I mean? Like the revolution, that was like a revolution in the music. Something different happened, the spiritualness. And I wanted to come with my own beat, everything. So anything that is strange that people can't understand, they will protest. You know.
My mom always said to me, don't sing calypso, whether it is big money, don't be tempted and go. Competition tough, boy, you ain't good enough. And the boys too sweet with the soca beat, but I just keep music cheap. That's why my music too dirty for them to harass me. My music too dirty for them to stop me. Whoa, my music too dirty. My music too dirty. My music too dirty with sweet melody. Alright.
Now, 1982, we had to ask ourselves what went wrong. Because here was a guy who had won the road march 2 years straight, and when we were looking for him in 1982, he was nowhere around.
Because, well, you see, as a fella, I like to be creative. And maybe I was moving too fast from Mr. Ross and Charles from New York City. I did the first album with Romy, the second album with Charlie's Calypso City. The third album, I attempted to do it myself because of the things I wanted. It was in so many words, it wasn't coming together. And as a God above, that record was being played down because that was the very first record I decided was to produce myself.
But this tune, Omale, what was it saying?
Omale was more happy feeling. And it was extended from like Soca Baptist into Ethel. I was so good and I'm going for that too, tic-tac-toe. That's why I named the album Tic-Tac-Toe. And they realized that like this guy have some big bright ideas. 3-road march, tic-tac-toe. And it was played on.
I have this funny feeling that something good is happening. And when I get this feeling, it's always have me singing. Ole, omale, 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 eh. I have this feeling now. Ole, omale, 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 eh. I have this feeling now. La 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 la.
Well, after the slump in 82, you bounced back in 83 to sort of put your detractors to sleep with two monster tunes, Superman and Rebecca.
Yeah, well, I will good under pressure too, you know. Yeah, it have a part of me that's come out. Like, in my heart, I knew that I did everything necessary was to win that road match in 1982. Things didn't work out, so I decided from early to put in that work with all that I know, hit them with everything. And it came out beautiful, superb.
But tell us about Superman first. What was the link between Superman and Blue Boy?
Well, it's to show them the superness in me. Because in that time I feel I had a superness in me. I don't used to talk much about it because I don't like people to have me down like boasting or thing. I know in that. I just try to admit what I feel. If I feel I have a superness in me, and I say, well, the best way to do it is in song. Because they beat me up, you know what I mean? Look how much fun they had for the carnival, forgetting that I am part of the festival. You know?
I want to talk about the difference between performing in, say, San Fernando and the Savannah, because that year, your performance in San Fernando was unparalleled. You were swarmed by the crowd when you sang Rebecca. In fact, I don't think you got to finish singing the song at all.
No. Well, Skinner Park, you see, Skinner Park will always be the better show for the mere reason. It's a preliminary fight, you know? It's a semi-final. And you don't have that pressure on you about win. It's qualified. So you could entertain the people. The Californian job is to inform, educate, and entertain. You just get that down there. Up in the Savannah, the Queen's Park Oval is win. Because they show you, this country has shown you and demonstrated to me that there is only spotlight for two people in this town. The Road March King and the Monarch. And if one man pass and take both of them, the rest. Right, they eat potatoes alone with no meat.
Now, when you were singing the Rebecca, do you recall being almost stifled on stage?
Yeah, man, because Samano, you know, just when 3 weeks ago in New York, we've been looking at that tape, Rebecca, and that's one of the special tapings of my life. Rebecca and Samano. When I saw the people at Point Fountain, give me that chance to feel that way. Something special, words can't describe it, so I'll just look at it.
So going to the Savannah that year with those two tunes, the reason why you dropped Superman and took up Salvation as the other song was because you were conscious of this difference of setting?
Always, this spiritual song would always be first with me.
I was told, we need repentance. Prepare, to clear up your conscience. Catastrophe is what we face if we don't rearrange this place. More than ever now, we will have to pray for the golden days to come our way. Salvation.
Now, 1984, Fet and Lucy, formidable double.
Fet. Well, you know where Fet come from?
150 years of Calypso?
Yeah, but then I didn't feel they played it up properly enough, because then I made it for, I called from New York, and I hear we're going to have this big celebration for the 150 years Calypso. And so?
Yeah.
So I said, boy, it's a serious thing here. As the Woodmarch King, I have to do something. But whilst I was going to Egypt school, I always remember the Boy Scouts had a song as a sing. You was a Boy Scout?
I was a Boy Scout.
You was a Boy Scout?
Yeah, I'm always prepared.
Yeah. But this song is, we camped last night, we camped the night before, we camped tomorrow night, we go camp forever. I said, what it is? We're going to give them some fat. Man, we fed last night, fed the night before. That's where that came from.
Last night, the night before, tomorrow night, we'll get for your mama, and we jamming, all night we jamming. Don't get tired, tell them, yeah. Last night, the night before, tomorrow night, we go get for your mama, and we jamming, all night we jamming. Hey man, we jamming.
Now, your performance in the Savannah that night, complete with the breakdancers, because breakdance was the in thing in 1984. Could you recall that night?
The revolution of the whole thing, I entered that. I entered that, right through.
Where did you get those guys from?
Well, funny, eh? Me and one of the guys, Sylvan, did an interview in Toronto. Now he's on a radio station. That was my #1 breakdance man. It's our next one is called Scientist. He's in Brooklyn right now. But these guys is fellas I met all on the streets, like down, by the mall on Frederick Street. They used to be down there in the evening. Yeah. Thinking the girls breaking up and bending up and things like that. That's what I said. So I decided also to incorporate them into it. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The other tune, Lucy, just a little on that.
Yeah, Lucy. Lucy's from, going to America, the influence, certain influences on the radio station and thing. And on television, there's a show named I Love Lucy. That's where I got that. Just imagining Lucy coming to Trinidad, what type of behavior she would have.
Lucy in the Savannah, yeah. Lucy had no partner, no. Lucy dancing the soca, yeah. Lucy body on fire, Now she start to expose she bra, yo. Then she start to take off the shoes. Blood, what she gonna do next? What she gonna do next? Why so much people inside the van, man, I have to push people with me hand to see. What she gonna do next? What she gonna do next? Yo, my people jumping, while music blasting. Hey, man, the thing like a movie scene, man. She was pom-pom, she say I love the band. Pom-pom, she say I want a man to get it for Carnival Monday, for Carnival Tuesday, and even Ash Wednesday. We jamming whole day.
Well, the following year, I thought was a turning point in your career from a point of view of you're giving a little bit more emphasis on the social commentary, and that tune, Retreat, I think has been one of the big tunes in terms of your getting into social commentary.
That is where what if you notice, from 85, a whole revolution went on inside me.
Watching you perform Retreat, especially even in your concert recently, there's a build-up towards it, so that when you say the oh yo 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 yo, you have the audience totally captivated.
Yeah. Everything I learned, Kaiso teach me, you know, is experience. The greatest teacher in the world is experience.
Oh, yo, 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 yo. I just don't seem to understand why they keep what when all they seem to be doing breaking down and this world was meant for peace and love to be amongst mankind. Still presidents and kings I say have war on their mind. So I am totally dissatisfied with their ruling. Oh yo 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 yo. Oh yo 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 yo. Oh yo 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 yo.
The following year, you're in semi-finals again as usual. You did a couple tunes. The Pledge, a Pledge, a very strong tune which I don't think got its full due.
No, because at that time too, you see, all the time I had the culture house. I was struggling because it was a kind of strange experience to me. Here it is, I wasn't spectacular. It's the biggest paid Kaisuran, big, soup, blue boy. And leave to go and open my tent. From singing to 3,000 people a night, I started singing for 200 and 100. Alvin, this thing was
Rough.
Yeah, man, it was a different sight. Canada custom singing for no 200. And when the night come, I'm not no promoter. When the night come, having 15, 17 Kaisuans here, let's see about them problem. I ain't no have problems. And things wasn't, and that was the downturn in the economy at that time too. Like when the economy was taking that nosedive.
Whoa, 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 Trinidad, hey, yeah, and Tobago. In proudness I salute you, the greatest of them all. Yeah, 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 Trinidad, hey, yeah, yeah, and Tobago. Superb, unique, and mighty, you are everything that's nice. Yeah, yeah, Trinidad, hey, yeah, 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 and Tobago. With love and open doors, you greet and welcome all. Yeah, 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 Trinidad. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh. Let's keep that flag flying for love and liberty.
Well, I want to jump from 1986 all the way up to 1989, because whatever happened between 86 and 89, 89 saw the change.
That was my university.
From super
school days.
Yeah, but they saw the transition from Blue Boy to Super Blue. Tell us about that.
Well, that Super Blue just came about where I have a fellow from point named Ali. Let's call him Ali. He says
Alice Nears.
Yeah. And I was in arena. And I was handling football for the youths up there. Yeah. Ali came to me with the idea of a song and song on a paper and tape. I listened. And they asked me to record. Now, this is the first time I'm going to sing, you know?
Someone else's song?
Yeah. But the song now needed plenty work, man. Change up and add on and thing. So I tell them we work together on it. We went down by Kenny Joseph. A very talented fella, Kenny Joseph.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, nice. And it was a nice experience to working with Kenny, as to see how he works, you know what I mean? And what was most important, we had fun doing the record. Once you had fun doing a record, you have music. You say put your love in the music and it will be strong.
Now that tune you wrote, Italy, led all the way to a tune you wrote the following year in 1990, Soca. Was that deliberately a follow-up from the Road to Italy?
Yes, because again, what I noticed, I mean, everyone was supposed to be sad because it was a sad time for us at that instant. But we had more to be thankful for. You know, like they say, my mother always say, count your blessing. Count what you have, not what you didn't have. Them fellas played football for us right through and take us right down.
Well, it's good to see you have them on the stage at the finals, playing with you and helping you perform your song.
This is why I want to bring them back. And them boys, you know, them boys, beautiful. The Captain, Spider. It's just beautiful fellas. And I believe that was the rightful place. Yes, the rightful place on stage on that finals day. And if you notice in the tape, or the, you know, the feeling, they felt good to be there.
It felt good to be there.
Yeah, and I felt good to have them there.
A man who burst on the scene in 1980 with Soca Baptist, which became the road march that year. He went on to win the road march 2 other. Now the other tune, Pom Pom, and we know that you play the pan. In fact, you even played the pan on a Dimanche Grand night. Tell us about Pom Pom.
Well, Pom Pom was a song that, as a girl, I have it there. We just on the tape, we just pom 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 pom. And that's all our going on the tape. And that you would believe that is a carnival day. I was making Pom Pom. Carnival day. Carnival before, Carnival day. And a girl named Wendy. When I say pom 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 up and down the tongue, pom 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 all around. I know. And the queen are looking to go, and then she say, masqueraders happy for so ready to go. I said, that is it. And I take it from there, and I go on.
Masqueraders happy for so ready to go from Tuesday morning till last Wednesday with the pom pom and come to play. Why, we having a nice time. We having a nice time. Look tapping and do this pom pom, pom it and go. We having a nice time. We having a nice time. Pom 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 pom. All night long. Hey. Diggy diggy, diggy diggy, diggy diggy, diggy diggy.
From early, a guy called Pelham Goddard was very instrumental in converting what you brought to him to a finished product. And I know he had a hand in Pom Pom too. Tell us about your relationship with Pelham Goddard.
People won't understand it. I can't explain it. I don't know if he could. Like a Michael Jackson and Quincy Jones. PG is the most amazing musician I ever met in my life.
Now, 1991, I think, represented one of the high points of your career. I mean, this tune, Get Something and Wave, captured the imagination of everyone, both from a social and political, social commentary point of view, as well as from a party point of view.
Well, I was in Canada at the home of Ethel James when we was not going on an interview, when we got the news about the coup in Trinidad. So that is no curfew. No curfew. Because when I call Trinidad now, I hear how it's having big line, drinking music. I said, but you just like, how this happening? They say, well, everybody does party before 6. I said, woman joke. And I said, well, all right. And I say, you know, it is them people want to bust out of that coffee. If it's so, Now the Kaiser does have to use something, what they call prognosticate.
He has to prognosticate.
Prognosticate, which is evidence now could give you a clear idea of what is going to happen coming. So that is one of the gifts of the Kaiser. And it's not going to start around. And Alvin, for about 2 weeks of viewing and studying, I seeing, if knowing Trinidadians, they look up, if them willing was to come, if a man willing to come and party for 6, and sometimes he in the old mind to the say, right, it will take me 15 minutes to go home. And live directly 15 minutes to go home. Yeah. He want to get on for carnival.
Everybody, jump up in the power, jump up in the power, jump up in the power, in the power, in the power, in the power, in the power. Say we jamming until the morning. Bring me day, one baby, bring me day. Say we jamming until they want to put me there, bring me there, super jamming. Until morning, say we jamming.
What has been the high point in your career?
That concert last night.
And to go out, we give you this little something, a final reminder on Super Blue. But before I go, let me just thank Super for gracing us with this.
I want to thank Alvin because in here happening. No, I want all the Trinidadians to be able to know. This, you know, I feel that just before I flew in to do my concert, I saw Shabanks on a senior hall. So now, I am equal to him because I am one of Alvin Daniell. This is a senior hall show, and it's nice.
Thank you.
Love.
Everybody, jump up here, jump up, everybody, jump up in the power, jump up in the power, jump up in the power, in the power, in the power, in the power, in the power. Say we jamming until the morning. Bring me day, one baby, bring me day. Say we jamming until they want to put me there, bring me there, bring me there. Super jamming until morning. Say we jamming. Oh.